Hello and welcome to Seu D'Urgell in Spain for the International Canoe Federation's 4th Slalom World Cup of the 2015 season. 317 athletes from 49 nations are competing over the weekend in the 5 traditional classes. At the Park Olympic del Segre, the location of course of the 1992 Olympic Games. It's now time to look back on the best of the action over the weekend with me, Matthew Layton, so let the fun start. The first class we're going to see today is the canoe singles, the C1 for men, and here look, it's a truly international field, stacked with importantly 3 Slovakian paddlers. 27-year-old Matej Beneš from Bratislava looks a little bit more nervous than normal, but it's normal. This is the first of 5 legs of the Slovakia Olympic trials. And clearly there's only one pace. He looks good on the first run. Comes under the bridge. That is good. This is where a lot of time has changed hand over the weekend. Had to surf around 10 and up through tricky 11. Now over the Niagara drop. Again, this has been catching up a lot of athletes, but he makes it to perfection. Now, just 2 more to go. Punts off the wall. Here he goes. It looks a very solid run. Delighted with himself. That would give Mardik and Slavkovsky something to think about. Next to go from France, it's Denis Gargochenou. Maybe has something to prove. In the French trials, he didn't make the World Championship squad. Different approach, going for the S on the first rup. That was really smart. Surfed across the wave. Ducking and diving. Using the power of the river, which is crucial here. Lining himself up around tricky 19. It's known to be shallow and narrow. You have to keep the lines. Denny knows this well. Until 2009, the French trials were held here. Sprinting over the line, this looks tremendously good. Well, 2 seconds ahead. Denny, of course, the 2011 world champion. Next up, it's 28-year-old Benjamin or Benny Savcek from Slovenia. Mr. Consistent. He's only actually missed 2 finals in the last 14 major events he's entered, and is the current European champion. How does he go? 10, really quickly. Oh, slightly down there. That's going to cost him half a second. Losing a bit of pace. But that's quick. As you can see, go back to basics. You have to go up through the red and white gates, down through the green and white gates. If you hit a gate, that's a 2-second penalty. Miss a gate, that's 50 seconds. But that's not a problem for Benji today. Here he goes, over the line. And not delighted. Knows he could have done better. Denis Gargochenou takes gold for France, Matej Beneš silver for Slovakia, and Benjamin Savcek bronze for Slovenia.
Well, I'm really happy with the process of this final, because we planned some stuff and I succeed to stay on our plan, and I was really happy about that. And once I finish and I look the result, the time is good and the first place, so I'm pretty happy.
My name is Núria Vilarrupla. I'm a canoe slalom paddler from la Seu D'Urgell, from the Club Cadí Canoe Kayak. I started to paddle here at 9 and I'm still here, living it and enjoying this sport. My family was involved in this sport. My uncle, my aunt and my father, they paddled when they were young, and a lot of people in this sport knows my aunt because she's a bit famous, Núria Vilarrupla. She's a judge and she participates in many Olympic games, judging the games. So it's great to live here at La Seu and to practice this sport because everyone knows you, and when you walk through the streets, it's amazing, the feeling, and to meet everyone. This year for me has been really good. I started the season at the World Championships in Foz do Iguaçu and I achieved the under-23 title, and I'm really happy. I'm improving a lot. I'm paddling fast and improving my mistakes, so I'm really happy. The course of la Seu D'Urgell, it's a small course between the other courses that are around the world, but it's so tricky, has got special movements and special holds that are so tricky and makes you be so focused at the places. It's hard to think in the next 10 years, but I imagine that I want to keep enjoying this sport, and it will be great to imagine that one woman can be at the Olympic Games in Tokyo and to be there.
Here are the top competitors from the C1 women. Unfortunately, Núria Vilarrupla, who we just seen there, took a 50-second penalty, so she wasn't in the top 3. Kateřina Hoskova from the Czech Republic, 30 years old, took her maiden World Cup victory early in the season in Prague. Was really going for it. Oh, she's stuck in the hole. That's going to cost a couple of seconds. That's not what she planned to do. Started to rain, which may affect the poles a little bit. As you can see with the wind, they are starting to move around a bit, but so far she's clear. Dropping a little bit low. Was that a wide line on 19? Needs to keep the speed going. The last up of the day. Full of energy. There's no power coming off here. 9 strokes to the line. And is 5 seconds up, but knows she's left something out there. 19-year-old Kim Woods has been in the top side for the last 3 years. Also very strong paddler in the kayaks. Taking the traditional move on the first up. Kim is, by the way, the European champion this year. Getting a good roll of the water, in and out quickly of 11. By the way, the athletes do know this channel really, really well. Since its inauguration in 1991, we've had 2 World Championships, and including this one, 15 World Cups. Well, as you see on the split, she's well up. 2-second penalty, which will hurt a little bit. In and out quickly there. Good cheering from the British team. Switches and makes a bit of a mess of that one. And she's caught. She's not going to be happy. Seconds are falling off. This was a great run, which is turning into an average run, unfortunately. Well, 4 seconds and a horrible last section. And she knows it. Well, it's Jess Fox, 21 years old now, the double world champion, K1 and C1 in Deep Creek last September. See how she goes. Well, that's not the ideal start. Touches the first gate. Normally she keeps a little bit back in reserve. She's going to have to go for it now. Switching. Always at the right time. Total control, total confidence. Really uses the water. Coming down the last section. The girls are really just admiring this run. When she's on form, there's no one who can come close to her. In and out, using her form, her power, and she's not going to run out of energy. Well, 7 seconds ahead of the field. Looks tired but delighted. Jess Fox, gold for Australia. Katerina Hoskova, silver Czech Republic, and Kim Woods, bronze for Great Britain.
Look, it's a physical course and it's always a hard race in Seu. But I hit the first gate, and from there I just had to make sure I was online. I had to really attack, and I think that the bottom of the course was much better than my semi-final, and I made up a lot of time. So when I crossed the finish line, I was happy, but just had to wait to see what Nuria and Jasmine would do. But it was enough.
What's your first Olympic memory?
So my first Olympic memory is actually from 1996 in Atlanta, where I watched the coverage on TV, and I thought it was awesome, and that's actually one of the reasons why I started paddling.
During the London Olympics, I was in Italy. It was pretty cool to see Daniele Momenti all over on the TV screens.
Was it Floris Braat, a Dutch guy, was paddling at the Olympics 2004. Was a really great paddler for Holland because he won the World Cup in Seu, and he inspired me a lot.
Well, I'm actually kind of new to slalom, and the last Olympics were in London, and I was kind of new to sport. I hadn't started slalom, so did not watch much.
My first Olympic memory was watching the 1992 Olympics here in Seu D'Urgell, and it was really cool. I wanted to be there.
I remember about Sydney when we had a Brazilian competitor, so she's a really good K1 paddler, and it was amazing to see him on TV, so it's really a good memory for me.
K1 men sitting down, two-bladed paddle with many champions making it into the final. Lucien Delfort, born not too far away from here, just over the border in France, but now representing Australia, was second here 2 years ago and certainly knows how to put down a fast run. And significantly, he's in his new boat. It's designed to help him in bigger water, which we'll see in London, where the qualifications for the Olympics take place. Or the quota places, rather. Here he goes. Very quick round, and in and out of 15. The rule is the whole head and part of the boat has to go through the pole. As he does there. Needs to keep the speed up, though. This channel is not that fast. So really has to do a lot of work. Well, happy with that performance. This is a man at the top of his game. He's the world champion. He's the European champion. 29-year-old Boris Neveu from France. Taking the S approach, the first upstream. Really quick, always uses the water, always keeps in the flow. Whoops, doesn't matter how pretty you are, you can get through. That is really smart though. Boris, one of the few athletes that has fins on the underside of his boat. Here he comes. Never looks like he's rushing, but pure power, grace and elegance. Let's see how he goes. Well, that's a cracking run. Last to go, it's the winner from 2014, Samuel Hernandez. Known to be extremely quick on his day. Won a world ranking event in Seu earlier in the season, again 29 years old. Not quite as flowing as usual. Still in with a chance. But he's slightly off the pace. Needs to keep the boat accelerating. It's going to be close, however. It's going to be very close. This time just misses out. It's a reversal of last year's 1-2. Well, that gave something the judges to think about. Confirmation of the results. Boris Nevu, gold for France. Samuel Hernandez, silver for Spain. And Lucien Delfort, bronze for Australia. Staying with the kayaks and switching to the women. Most of the top-ranked paddlers in the world are present in this top 10. Karina Kunle, World Champion 2010, World Champion 2011. 28 years old, born in Vienna. And one of the most powerful ladies on the circuit. Really pulling hard in the early sections. Really solid. That's probably the best 10-11 combination we've seen all day. And again, really taking the power from these ups. Almost looks like she's enjoying herself. When she's on, she's on. Had a few problems with illness and stuff this season, but looks like today is going to be the almost perfect run. Still plenty of power coming out the line. Well, that is impressive. Dangerous competitor is 25-year-old Marta Martinez from Spain. This is really her breakthrough season, medaling in the World Cup a couple of weeks ago. Just keeps on top of the water, very light. Really knows all the local secrets. And great local support. Really flying down this course. Well, she's still in touch. Last difficult section to negotiate. Needs to keep the power down. Karina was really, really fast over the last section. Coming, didn't have as much acceleration in the last section. Well, landed up a little bit short. Not happy with that. The Spanish have been incredibly dominant in this event. Mylene Shuro, bronze medal at the Olympic Games. In Krakow in the heats was way faster than most of the men. In Seu D'Urgell in the heat, she was faster than a lot of the men as well. Not the biggest athlete, but extraordinarily power to weight ratio and really knows how to use this course. Not from here, but lived here for many years. Really keeps the boat bouncing on top of the water, and there's no secrets here. She'd go down blindfolded. Sets up a good angle. That's how to do it. In and out of 15. This is her race to lose. And it looks like she's going to lose it. Now, she did exactly the same thing as that in the semi-finals. Tried to be too tight and got caught out. She was well ahead at the split, but that will be expensive. Sprinting over the line. But that was a huge mistake at 19, and she knows it. Well, last year's victor, gate 19, proved to be very expensive. Karina Kulner, gold for Austria. Mylan Shuro, silver for Spain. Marta Martinez, bronze for Spain.
It was really nice. It felt, I felt very in control of it, and I had space to all of the gates, and I felt really safe. And I felt like I was in a condition to push as well, so that was really nice to pedal.
Well, the lineup for the C2 final. Interesting here, Kuchera Batic from Slovakia have made it through. Hochschorners and the Skantars haven't. As we mentioned before, that's really important due to the qualifications for the Slovakia team for the Olympics. Pierre Laborel, Nicolas Peschier. Huge difference in size. Pierre in the front, one of the smallest competitors. Nicolas, probably the strongest chap out there. They've had a disappointing season so far. In the French trials, they didn't make the World Championship team. 2012, not being in the London Games, but after that they won 3 in a row, so certainly a top formation. This is looking a good situation. They know this course inside out, having trained here many times. Powering over the line. A good day's work at the office. There you go, the current #1 crew in the world. Gautier Claus, Mathieu Peschier from France. They won in Prague. They're second in Liptovsky. They have the speed, they're very dynamic, and they certainly have the motivation. Punts off the wall. Not the prettiest run they've ever done, but it is effective. Around the tricky up, they just need to keep in the fast flowing water and give it them all. Again, punting off the side. It's going to be tight. They really need to give it their all. And by 0.28 of a second, they beat their compatriots. Last to go is the 2013 World Champions, David Florence and Richard Hounslow. Let's hope that David Florence didn't have too much birthday cake yesterday. 33 years old, by the way. David in the front puts all the power. Richard steers the boat. It's a very effective partnership. And in London in 5 weeks' time in the World Championships, these are going to be difficult to beat. Surprisingly, perhaps today, they're the only Brits in the final. Well, they're giving it them all. No one puts in more effort. Well, less than a second off the pace, but it just shows how tight this class is. Klaus Peschier, gold for France. Laborel Peschier, silver for France. And Florence Hounslow, bronze for Great Britain. That's it from us in Seu D'Urgell. Thanks for tuning in. Follow us on social media. See you soon. Thanks and bye-bye.